Hello YouTube, and this is Genova's back with another one of the Pokegirl series. This is going to be number 3 in the series, and this one had similar trouble to the other ones. I've still learned how Procreate does its recording, so had trouble with the color section on this one. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to the end of it. This is what I call Venus 003, based off the Venusaur. Trying to give you a quick overview there, because as you'll see as we continue along with it, when we get to the coloring section, it did the same thing I did with one of my other videos and cut most of it out. So starting off here, just getting through some of the basic guideline shapes. I kind of had a vision in my head how I wanted the image to look, so I'm just kind of getting some of those structure lines down. I believe for this one I'm using the technical pencil brush on the Procreate app and just kind of laying down some general guidelines where I wanted everything to go. You'll see me make a few different decisions on which way the legs are going, and a couple different decisions as the framework lines up. Didn't know what I wanted to do with the hand over there. Just kind of thought, be doing something kind of in my head. I thought with leaves or wind or something. You'll see later that's kind of exactly what I went with. Still trying to make sure, and that's the good thing about Procreate, is you can really just go through and, if you don't like it, you erase it, and you don't have to worry about messing up your paper like you do on normal traditional paper and pencil as it goes. You saw there where I readjusted the arm, it just looked like it was a little bit too far out. Just used the selection tool and select that part of it and slid it over a little bit. Wasn't 100% sure I wanted to go with the hair. I was going with a ponytail to begin with. And I thought, well, I'm going with wind in this hand. Why don't I just go ahead and have some, wild hair flying up out of the way? And this is when I started trying to work on the back of the drawing and, trying to bring in the Venusaur back the way it is. And the way she's facing, you can see I kind of went through it several times, I think, before it actually ended up saving the way that I finished it up. Here I just lowered the opacity and started drawing in some circles, made sure everything I had was really lining up with the angle of her. Till finally I thought I kind of had a plan of how I wanted it, and kind of went back in with the pencil a little harder and make sure I had the framework how I wanted it before I get ready to start my final pencils as it goes through. And you'll see as the series continues, I really just playing around with different styles and different ways to color, because there's so many different features and things on Procreate. I really just like to play with them. And there I was, just moved to a new layer, lowered the opacity on the last layer, and now I'm starting to lay down the pencils actually into probably be the final pencils on this one, I believe. You'll see as I'm going through the hair, it's pretty much kind of your more of an anime style hair. We don't worry about drawing every strand or every way it goes. You kind of do it into sections, like I'm kind of sectioning off here. And then when you color it, you kind of just do like different sections with different colors. You'll kind of see the way that I did the coloring on this one in particular. And that just kind of looked weird there at the top of the hair. I'm pretty sure I changed that in just a second, because not exactly what I was going for there at the top of it. But that's another good thing about this app. You can just kind of erase it and just continue right along with it. Yeah, there it went. Just laying out the rest of the framework for the hand there. And here's where I actually drew in just a few of the leaves. I kind of knew in my head that I wanted to color this one anyway when I got to this point, so I knew about how much I needed to draw in detail-wise, and the leaves and the wind and everything went. It's really going for more of a, maybe even a cell shading kind of color pattern as I was going through, kind of selecting with the selection tool and color one color and select another one, color another color, and I think that's how I did most of the leaves and wind in this. That's when I just slid the Venusaur over on the image. I'm really just going to try to go ahead and draw in that back image. You know, this is really no starting at the top, working to the bottom mentality when I work on these. It's kind of just wherever it takes me at the time. I still haven't did the right hand over there. There it goes. And you'll see me play around with that a few times before it really looks the way I wanted it to look. You see I removed the pencils there from its layer, and I was just trying to see how I wanted it. Here actually I went through, and this is where it messed up. See, it jumped straight to the ending, but you saw me start it there a minute ago. I actually went through and selected certain pencils and changed their colors to better match the actual colors I was going to color her with, to kind of get this image here how it looks. You notice that the pencils in the back, and then there it is with the pencils re-added. I did re-add the pencils at the end and kind of blurred them out a little bit, and it kind of gave the look that I wanted. And I'll just kind of talk through this part of it because honestly Procreate seemed to have lost it. You'll notice on the leaves there and the wind, what I did is I did a background layer color for each one for the green leaves, and then I did a selection tool and I selected the pieces I thought would be lighter and just kind of did a lightened color for them. And then the same thing, I chose the sections of it I thought would be darker and did the color darker for those. Everything was on its own layer, the skin color, the clothes, the petals, the leaves. That way anytime I wanted to change a color or I thought it was too light or too dark, maybe I could just, you know, fix it the way I wanted to fix it. Didn't go too heavily detailed on the boots and gloves because, you know, with the shading and coloring I was using, I didn't really want them to stand out too much. And you'll notice I did the same thing on the hair there as it goes through. I had, you know, the main blue on the back and then shaded You know, you made a selection tool, which places I thought would be lighter, colored them lighter, and which ones I thought would be darker, and I colored some of those darker. Did the same thing with the wind. You'll notice just the gray with the white and the darker gray. And then on the actual skin tone, it stands out a little bit differently because I actually used the airbrush tool on it a little bit to show the highlight part of it. And I barely darkened one side of it just because it's not a very dark piece, so it's pretty light. And that is going to be it, guys. Sorry I lost the coloring process. I'm kind of learning to Procreate still, so hopefully in the future videos it will not be that way. And as always, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, leave me any comments or anything. And this is number 3 of the Pokegirls, and there's plenty more to come. Thank you guys, and thank you for watching.